Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Sunday night, time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and with me in the co-host seat is my friend, my producer, Debbie.
Howdy. How are you guys?
And you can tell by my background, I am not in my normal office. I am in our Phoenix house. So
matches my background, though.
I know. I looked at that. I go, man, our wall really blends into your wall. It's crazy. Good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. How's your Sunday going? Let's introduce our guest, shall we? Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guest this week is Bill Hunt. Bill was brave enough, or stupid enough, to let us do his store review. just me. And usually I have a tiki mug, but I'm in Phoenix and we don't have any mugs here.
Really. Oh, that's okay. I have one.
Oh, good.
That's the perfect one. Okay.
All I got is a purple cup of water.
Oh, that's nice. Bill lives in Central California. Debbie lives in Northern California. But the Washington State Krakens just made the playoffs. Woohoo! I think this is only a second year, so I have my Kraken. And I found out that Bill's wife is from Northern Seattle. Woohoo! Go Krakens and Seahawks and Mariners.
There you go.
I covered it all.
Nice mug, Deb. Good job. Thanks for picking up my slack.
I know, isn't that cute? That was from a horrible tiki bar that we've ran into on one of our trips. But I bought this, and I have Pepsi, my favorite unicorn. No caffeine and no sucrose Pepsi. Heaven.
Where do you even buy that?
Winco.
We don't have any mugs here. We got a little bit of decor, a little bit of tiki.
Yeah, Jason, a mug fail.
Yeah.
Your wife doesn't have any tiki mugs in her house?
We have just 2 Den of Sin mugs sitting here. That's it.
Well, hey, promote them.
Yeah. And we do have wall art. Here, look, there's a couple things hanging. You can see it. Yeah, we're just getting this house set up as a home, so it's coming. It's coming.
I know. All these big walls, and well, most of it's over there.
All right, Bill's going to relax and sweat it out for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to go through his store and make him and all of y'all, because everyone who watches anybody's store review is going to hear things and see things that they're going to say, oh, I do that, and they're going to fix it too. So that's why it's always good to listen to any store review, because there's common things that everyone kind of, not that they're mistakes, but maybe just bad habits. And then we're going to try and break them and fix them. And that way you're going to look better, sell better, make more money.
And sometimes there's changes that people don't know about. Like, oh, you didn't know that change.
Oh, yeah. That too. That's quite a bit. Debbie picked out some things that I didn't even notice. So we're a good compliment for tonight. All right, Bill, sit back, relax. We'll see you in a little bit.
See you well.
Woohoo. All right, let's get right into it, Debs.
Alrighty.
And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting.
Oh, I love finding this game. Cash flow. It sold in about 2 days for $39. The new ones are $59, so I didn't know if I would get that much, but I did.
I've never even seen this game.
Oh my gosh. It's the Robert Kiyosaki, the money guy.
Okay.
And there's cash flow, and then there's one for children, but this is probably the 5th one I've sold. I don't think they're making them anymore.
Oh, nice.
And in the thrifting board, we have a file that tells you all the parts, because their instructions lists do not give you how many of this and how many of that. So,
wow. Okay.
Yep. We had to sell some of our tiki mugs. We kind of get tired of them. So that one, I think we took a best offer of $45.
And shame.
Uh-oh.
I need this mug.
Well, you should say something.
Well, I didn't know with you.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you tell me every day you know what tiki mugs are listed and what are sold? And this has been listed for 6 months.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't see it, because there's 3 floats in 3 different colors that go into this collection, and I don't have the red one. And so when I put this up there, I'm like, shit.
And you would have probably paid me full price for it. Darn.
Yes.
We sold the gold to a local guy.
No, please, see if I need anything.
Yeah, I thought for sure if I told you I had it listed, you'd say, yeah, I know, I already saw it.
No, I didn't see it until you sent me the sold link.
Live and learn. Okay, and we sell books. So we sold this book for $59.
Nice.
Yep. And we accepted a best offer of $25 on this one. It's really cool, like a bowling shirt style with, is it Grumpy? Yeah, it's a Grumpy.
Yep. So this would definitely been a great candidate for a pick collage.
Yes.
Because the better artwork's on the back, although the striping's on the front. So that's definitely when you want to pick collage things together.
Yeah. My bad.
No. Yeah, we're always learning. All right. I bought this suit. Not that I could wear it. I would, though. It looks like corkboard.
Oh, wow.
It's a 70s suit. I thought someone will love this. And when we have these kind of lighter colors with our black background and our black mannequin, it just works out really well for the look.
Yes.
And this is a good way to do a suit picture to fill the square nicely. Jacket on the mannequin, pants hanging beside it. Boom, fills the square really nicely. Took a best offer of $55, picked it up for like $7.99, and it was a quick sale. Yeah, it was listed for less than a month.
That's nice. Good picture.
All right, speaking of tiki mugs, this is actually a shot glass, and when you have a mug small, because it's not normal, make sure to throw like a quarter in there so people can really understand that you're not getting a full-size mug. And these were $10 at the bar in Kauai, and I sold it for $75. And we're going back to that bar in September. And we only bought a couple last time. If they have them, I plan on filling up a suitcase because the only place you can buy these shot tiki mugs is at the bar in Kauai. So for those who don't want the expense of going to Kauai, I'm going to bring a bunch back. So, and plus tiki mugs this size take up a lot less room in a suitcase.
Yeah, take lots of bubble wrap and.
Yep. Okay, why did this sell this week? What was the Taylor Swift news this week?
I don't know. She had a concert. I know.
No.
Green.
What fuels her whole career? She broke up with her current boyfriend this week. So it's like if when Russia invaded Ukraine, it's that important in the news world that every day, oh no, Taylor broke up with her boyfriend.
Is this like number 5 or 10 or how many?
Oh, like 50.
Oh,
listed for a couple months, and then she broke up. It's in the news every single day, and then it sold this week. So definitely look in the blanket section for these kind of blankets that are a picture of something. I've sold NSYNC, I've sold Disney, I've sold this Taylor Swift. So there's always these cool blankets that most people just kind of look past in the blanket section.
Nice. Well, it helped paid off for you.
So my mom knew, Elisa knew, and Elisa said his boyfriend $395. Now, if you don't know, every song that Taylor writes pretty much is about a boy that did her wrong. So that's her whole career.
Oh, so stay tuned for a new song coming out.
Oh yeah, that album's coming soon. All right, these are see-through vulcanized Chuck Taylors. They're not cloth. And all I can think of is how effing sweaty would these shoes make you?
Ooh, yeah.
But they're a little off color to what they should be. They still are fine. And so we took a little bit less than the ones that aren't a little off color, but we told some for $200 and we paid $15 for them. So keep your eyes peeled for plastic, clear Converse All-Stars.
Okay, I have to know whose legs are those? Are those mannequin?
Yeah, mannequin legs.
Okay, they look too perfect.
Again, a perfect square, different angles of the shoe. Yeah, you've got to figure out your angles to always fill the square. And we're definitely going to talk about that with Bill coming up in a smidge. There's a little tease. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. Okay, so we say flipping cassettes, but this is the precursor to the cassettes. In case you all don't know, this is a reel-to-reel. And I had bought a bunch at a garage sale quite a while ago, and they just sat around this pile. And finally, I said to my team, I go, here, take pictures to you, and you list them. Like, I just tired of seeing them lay around. And I sold 4 in like 2 days. Cool. And so this customer in Europe bought 3 of them. So as you can see, there's your tape. These are reel-to-reel. So this one, I took a best offer of $15. This one, I took a best offer. This is a Johnny Cash of $25. And this jazz one of Odetta at Carnegie Hall, I took a best offer of $55. So it was like $90-some or $100 in 3 reel-to-reels going to Europe. So, Bo, Tom's got a bunch with mold on them. That's a bummer.
Oh.
Yes, does not ship the United States, Coach, because this was sold directly on eBay Europe. See, euro, not dollars. So this was on, I don't know which eBay it was, but one of the European eBays. I have a service that lists them directly on each for me.
Does that work out good for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I sold quite a bit that way. Okay, shockingly, I have not had any good scores with vinyl lately. And you're going to say $13. Why is that a score? So Tempest Storm was one of the original OG burlesque dancers. And she actually just passed away like a year or two ago at the ripe old age of like 90 something.
Oh, wow.
This is just a 7-inch, the smaller record of an interview with her.
Oh.
So it's not even music, but it is Jack White interviewing her, Jack White, aka White Stripes. So, you know, you can sell records that don't even have any music on it. It could be just two people talking. So
that's a really pretty cover too, really eye-catching.
Oh yeah. So it was my uniquest flipping vinyl of the week, that's for sure. And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. Hey, that's not mine.
No, that's mine. I took a best offer of $15, and the buyer was very happy. It was listed for a Debbie long time.
You bought it at Amoeba Records.
I did probably, yeah. Oh, with you. It had to have been with you when we.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's how long it's been.
All right, I got a really good one this week. Oh crap! All right, I'm gonna come back to that real quick. Let's go to this one. So, do you know who Les Claypool is?
Nope.
So, Les Claypool is the lead singer of a band called Primus. So, this is his alternative band, his Frog Brigade. And what's weird about this album is it's a live album, and all they did was a Pink Floyd album.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So it's not any Les Claypool music. It is them doing the Pink Floyd Animals album start to finish. So it's such a weird thing, but paid $20 and sold it for $60.
So you don't have Pink Floyd in your title?
No, it's Amazon.
Oh, it was already, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This must be so fun for you, finding all this music that you know about.
Oh, yeah. Now, these Star Wars CDs, there's a bunch of different Star Wars soundtracks. This version has these cool covers, and these are all sealed. And by themselves, they're worth about $20-ish. But when you put them all together and make them one nice lot, I sold it for $100.
That's mathematically wrong. It should only be $60 for 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All that money.
Someone who just discovered Star Wars is like, I need those soundtracks on CD.
Wow.
Boom, there they are. All right, let me take this off the screen real quick because I forgot to bring up the one thing I wanted to show you. All right, so the next CD I'm going to show you is one of my promo CD singles. And I bought that in a big lot where we paid pennies on the dollar for about 1,700 CDs. There we go. And this, there we go. So my score is, 75 cents a CD. And this is Meatloaf's I Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. And I sold it for $28. Now, there's 4 versions of the same song on the CD. And I thought they were hilarious because usually it's like the name of the song and then like dance mix or the name of the song and radio edit. This one always makes me laugh because it is I do anything for love, but I won't do that. And the first one is the single edit at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. The second version is called A Little Bit Longer Than the Single Edit. That's at 6:41. The third version is called Longer Still, but not as long as the album version at 7 minutes and 41 seconds. And then the last one's called the album version. This full-length song is 11 minutes and 59 seconds.
Nice.
That is a crazy song.
Wow.
But someone paid $28 for 4 versions of the same song. That's the point I want to make because you should be looking at all kinds of music. And then if you saw this Beach Boys CD for $60, would you have even thought to buy it ever?
No, I would have thought to call you.
Yeah. Most people would not plunk down $60, but I happily plunked down $60 mainly because it was still sealed because there's the sticker on the cover. And it was a special version. It's a super audio CD. And I did sell it for $170. And I did figure it out. I cleared after fees and stuff. My profit was $82. Nice. So I do not mind throwing $60 down if I'm going to make a profit, especially of $82. That was a real easy decision. So, yes, we want to find all the Peggy quarters in the world, but don't shy away from expensive things if you can make even that much more money.
Yeah, wow. I would have been stunned, but I would have wondered why they were charging so much for it. And then
they knew, but like I always say, this record store priced for their in-person clientele, the people walking off the street, would only afford them to get about $60. I can then list it and wait for that right buyer anywhere in the world who really wants to pay me what it's actually worth.
And they are out there.
Yes, they are. And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Okay, well, I took an offer of $9.99, and in the description I had put that it's a rolled hem, which if you know what a rolled hem is, it's not hemmed, it's just raw, you know, like, well, the buyer got it, and he said, he was really upset. He told me, it's not new with tags. Somebody cut the hem off. The manufacturer would never do that. It's a Target brand, and there's over 400 of these same stylish shirts listed. So I politely gave him his money back and told him, no, you know, we didn't do this and blah, blah, blah. And then he left me positive feedback. So it's a dud because he got to keep it for free. I just let him keep it. I didn't want to pay for it to be returned. So, and this dud sold, but the paints were dried up. I think I probably checked them, but I don't know. But he showed me a picture of dried out paint. So I said, okay, here's your money back. Because I think it only sold.
You can rejuvenate dried up paints.
That's what I figured. But I think I took an offer. It might have only sold for $14 or something. Okay. So they're both duds. But I was like, I was being the nice seller and just taking care of them, giving their money back, keep the item. I'm moving on because I have lots of Mad magazines to list.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know the exact procedure or what you put on, but there's some kind of oil or something that will kind of rejuvenate them. So,
good to know. It could be like that paint oil. Yeah. I'll Google that.
All right. So I took a best offer of $10. Of course, I'm a big hit in Las Vegas. Why it's a dud, and I think I paid like a dime for a bunch of pins one day. I sold this, and then 2 weeks later, they announced a new Muppet show coming on Disney Plus next month. So even though Piggy isn't part of the new show, it's all about Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. But all suddenly Muppets are going to be hot again. And I'm like, damn, wish I knew that before I took a cheapy best offer of $9.99. Oh, well.
I need to raise. I have a Miss Piggy bobblehead that hasn't sold. I'm going to need to raise the price now.
There you go. All right. And I think I've even talked about this one before. I had a ton of Star Wars collector plates, and collector plates for the most part really aren't worth your time. But all the Star Wars ones I had listed sold well and for good money. And this one has sat for over 2 years now. This is going to be a Debbie plate all of a sudden. I don't get it. It's the price. The price is right in the wheelhouse of this one, and I don't know. So if anyone collects Star Wars plates and want to offer me $15, I will happily take it.
Nice. Does it have the box, the styrofoam?
The box. There
no, just the COA.
Got the box, the COA. It's got it all.
It does.
It's got it all. I don't know. For whatever reason, no one wants that one.
But, just touch it, it'll go.
All right. Well, we just talked about it. Let's hope. And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. Man, does your map look ominous?
Well, I accidentally used eBay's shipping because, you know, I do the pirate ship, then we save our buyers lots of money. So I don't know what part of Norway it went to. It just said Norway. I don't know. I looked and looked. I couldn't find what part. So I just somewhere in Norway, these Mad magazines sold. And I have to give a shout out to our friend Brian for telling us that Al Jaffrey or Harry Jaffe, whatever his name is, died. I've had these Mad magazines sitting in my profit pile for about 10 minutes or hours, years. And they're selling like crazy now. Not for a lot of money, but they're going. So that one went to Norway. Yep.
All right. So mine is the ultimate. This is why we do this. Because look, you know, humor definitely is in the eye of the beholder. So I can understand humor kind of going anywhere in the world. Same with music. But my where in the world is very much tied to what my mom sells quite a bit. Someone in Mecklenburg, Germany needed a Cleveland Indians batting helmet. So this is where you go, what? Like Mecklenburg isn't really a big spot. And so someone needed a vintage Cleveland Indians batting helmet with Chief Wahoo on it this past week. So it's about 2 hours to the west of Munich. That's why we recommend you sell everywhere, because you never know when someone in Germany needs a Cleveland Indians batting helmet.
And our troops are all over the world. They like our stuff. Is that the logo that was discontinued?
Yes.
Yeah, so that could be somebody. I was thinking, Yeah, I was going to say, I thought
Judy, I'll switch that out this week and see what happens.
maybe if they see the whole kit and caboodle there, they'll say, "Oh, I got to have."
Yeah, could be my bad first picture. So yeah, maybe you are right. And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay. Sometimes I see some really cool things that I think there's no way I'm going to ship that. But I could go to UPS and ask them to professionally pack it, and then they take responsibility for it if something happens to it. And I'm thinking that you could probably go in maybe and get an estimate ahead of time, because it's not cheap for them to pack it. The buyer's going to pay for it. So I need to know how much to raise my price to cover what that shipping is going to cost when it sells. And then there's the website that you can go to and read their pack ship guarantee, because they have some rules that you have to follow. But if it's going to be something that's got all these things, glass stuff all over, and I don't want to mess with it, but I know I can get a lot of money out of it, I'm going to try UPS to pack it for me.
Yep. So if you got an item that's worth $5, that's not your case. But you got a rare, fragile thing worth, $1,000. Don't pass it up because you don't want to ship it. Just work the shipping cost with their packing services, and boom, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, so the one thing I want to warn you about on pirate ship is when something's going rather close, typically UPS ground is 1 penny cheaper. And the default in pirate ship, when you go, show me the rates, it shows you the cheapest rate. Now, mostly on smaller items, this being a smaller item, I ship priority. What has happened a few times to myself and more so to my assistants, they forgot to flip it to priority, and then they purchase UPS ground. So you got to make sure that you're reading your screen and then boom, flip it down, because UPS ground is 1048 and priority mail is 1049. So of course, since my listing says priority, they're going to get priority. But if you go fast when you're shipping, next thing you know, you've got a label going out to UPS. So just make sure that before you pull that trigger, is it on the platform, the shipping platform that you had said it was going to be on?
And I know sometimes people say, "Oh, I'll just do UPS," but aren't there people that are rural that can't get UPS?
Yeah.
They have an issue if you pull that on them, and they were expecting USPS, and you switch it to UPS, they might have an issue. So.
Yep. So always be aware that they show the cheapest thing first. So you got to make sure you pick what you have told your customer they're going to get. And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing. Oops, where's yours? There we go.
Oh, isn't that pretty? We were in Reno vacation, and we never get to go to the bins. I can't drive. Because of my previous seizures, I lost my driver's license. I haven't got it back yet. So I have to ask my husband, please take me to the bins. And Google said they were open until 7 or 8. And we got there about 4:30. We're just pulling. And so my point is, don't be afraid to go at the end of the day. I know a lot of people are scared of the bins because early in the morning, it's chaos. Through the day, they're bringing them out, and there's a lot of people. But we walked in, we've actually even got a shopping cart. And there were a lot of bins around. And, there's always going to be some junk, but we pulled out some good things, a Carhartt women's brown sweatshirt, a Patagonia shirt, a really big, that Columbia jacket, that red is a Disney, Downtown Disney rain garden, or what is it called? I can't think of the name right now. Rainforest, but they're gone. They took them out of there. So we found some cool stuff. I paid $27 for all of that.
Nice.
There's some Dockers. There's a wool skirt. There's some white stag pieces. So I was just really trying to stick in a golf windbreaker. I was trying to stick to brands I knew just to see what would happen. And all of that with the tags that are originally on it from Goodwill would have cost me $111. So
nice.
If you're out and about and you want to venture out for your first time, but you don't want to deal with all that, try going towards the end of the day. And we still found that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, there's always stuff at the bottom. All right, this is the first time I've ever said this tip. If you find something that is a lot of things, just because one's missing doesn't mean it's not worth money. So this guitar lessons level 1, 2, 3, and 5. It was missing 4, but I still took a best offer of $90.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go out and find the 4. Now I probably could have went out and found the 4 too, but I didn't. But I still got good money. So just because something is missing, now this doesn't prove true always,
Right.
But in this case, they, especially since the beginner one is still there, they can still get the lessons in, and they'll hunt down number 4. But yep, still worth good money. Missing one of them.
Somebody paid $90 for something that has it's a VHS, so they have to have a
VHS. Yes, let that sink in too.
Whoa,
VHS.
that's amazing.
I'm gonna guess these never were on DVD. This specific series. So yeah,
I
that's
think we still have a VCR somewhere. I know that
we have a couple laying around. I got to hook up so I can test some videotapes.
And you won't know if you don't try. You tried. You put it up,
and it worked. And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling.
Okay, this was my graphic, so I have to know what it's all about. Oh. Accepting offers. eBay gives us the send offer thing. I've had some things I'm like, I really don't have room to, take $1 off or whatever. So then I discovered the percentage. So if I send someone, I say, okay, 20% off, it might sound like a lot of money, but it really isn't. And you just click that, put the percent that you want in there. And then if they don't want it, good, it's going to get out of my lineup there. Because sometimes I have something, I don't really have enough money to lower the price, and it sits there and it bugs me. This way I can get it out. And I also have to tell you, we sell quite a bit of things by sending out these offers. And I stumbled on another group, not the thrifting board, but another group. And these people were complaining how much they hate this option. They actually unlist their items to get it out of their queue and to not have to worry about it. And then relist. I thought, what universe?
What a waste of time.
And why not? Somebody wants to buy it. I mean, even if you put $1 off, it'll get out of your queue. But it amazes me.
Even who cares if it's in your queue? Who cares? What?
But the fact that they don't want to use this service.
Hey, show me that post later. I want to go in there and eat some popcorn and watch it.
I will. I'll find it. This is a fabulous service, and it works.
It sure does. That's so weird. Okay. Sometimes you sell cute little things like these vintage Riviera Hotel patches. And then sometimes they go to the Netherlands. And then sometimes they just end up getting lost. So I got a negative. Now, he left a negative before he let me know they never arrived. And then, of course, I did my research, and they entered his country and then just disappeared, just gone. And it had been like 2 months. So although I would have gladly just refunded him, yes, he is in his right to leave a negative. He had a bad buying experience. He ordered product, paid for product, did not get the product. Now, luckily, I have a bunch of those patches, and I reached out to him and said, I got more patches. I'm so sorry I didn't get it. I wish you would have hit me up directly, but I'm going to send you another round of patches. Now, talk about a nice customer. This is where, like the group Debbie just talked about, people lose their mind. Screw that guy. I'm blocking him. So I said, I'm going to send you another round of patches. You know what he did? He bought another Riviera item for me. He goes, hey, just throw it in there.
Whoa.
So he spent another $40. And so I threw the patches in the backpack, and then I had an old Riviera pen and one other thing. So I gave him a couple extra goodies. And he got them and was ecstatic. Not only left me positive on this, he wrote me a note and said, thanks, I got it all. Thank you for the extras. It was great. Now I go to get the negative removed because now my customer has been made whole. And I feel that is a just time to remove the negative. The link for me to click just doesn't show up for me. And so I talked to eBay, and they're like, man, I don't know why it doesn't show up for you. And then I explained what had happened, and they go, oh yeah, I see the correspondence in the positive. I'll just remove it for you.
Yay.
So there, no more negative. So, I mean, the true key here is first, take care of your customers.
Yes.
And then second, take care of you. And by talking to eBay and them seeing that he was happy and left me other positive feedback, it was so quick for that rep to go, I'll remove that. Boom. So yes, I had a negative on my account for about 3.5 weeks while we waited for the backpack to get from here to the Netherlands. But, it didn't bother me because one negative does not ruin my day. So, but when I can get it removed, I do. So just keep that in mind.
Now, isn't it true that if you had responded to that negative, they probably couldn't remove it? So don't respond to them.
Don't respond until you're done for good. Like if you couldn't get it removed and it's going to stay there, just respond. I'm so sorry they got lost, but I was so happy to be able to send you another set.
Right. And I was just thinking, everybody knows what's been going on for the last 3 years in the world. We all need to share some kindness. Like when my guy was livid because his shirt wasn't missing the hem, I just said, it's okay, no problem. I refunded shipping, everything. And I just let him keep it because everybody's been so beat up, when a seller on eBay comes at them with claws and horribleness, it's like, really, does it, even if it's $20, $30, just help them take care of your buyers. And then what goes around comes around. And then all of a sudden you sell some $100 item,
You got it. All right. This is going to be the most awesome one ever. And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season?
He told me yesterday.
We have had some epic Unseasonably Solds in this show. Epic. There will never be a better one than this. Are you ready? At 9:30 p.m., the customer's time zone.
Okay.
On Easter Sunday, he bought this.
Oh!
He bought a light up bunny on Easter Sunday with 90 minutes left at Easter Sunday. Like, talk about planning ahead.
Oh my gosh. Somebody woke up.
Come on. 365 days and 90 minutes till the next Easter.
Okay, I got it figured out. These guys went out and did a prank and stole these people, and then they can't find it, so you have to buy it to replace it to give it back.
I like your thought process, Deb.
I think like a criminal, believe me.
I see that.
That's amazing. That is the timing was like, yeah, we can't.
Crazy. Because I was bummed. Mom had the exact same one. She sold hers. We get to Easter. I'm like, shit. And then that night, sold. I'm like, oh. All right, one more second. We'll get Bill in here. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're angry. And sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week. Oops. And go, Deb.
Okay, I don't know if I can read it. It's kind of small. Anyway, exactly what I was looking for. Oh, there we go. Thank you. A good deal, as many of the Winnie the Pooh, my first books, no other sellers even came close. Uh-oh, did I underprice it? Good price, oops, and shipping. Books in really good shape. I don't expect them to be free of rips or writing them, and didn't get either. Definitely will be buying from this seller in the future. Yeah, I take my books very seriously. I check every page.
And funny that we don't ever talk about what our segments are going to look like, because my customer basically said the same thing. Latest purchase from the seller, always amazing service from the US to the UK. This seller is my go-to for my eBay Tiki mugs. So he will be back too, because he's been back many times. And guess what? I got every breakable mug from the United States to the UK without it ever getting broke. So he comes back and again and buys mugs. So do your job well. Your customers will be repeats, and then they'll tell other people too. Come check this out, because this is the person to buy from.
Yes, especially international like that.
Yep. All right, one upcoming show to talk about. So next week, I'm going to Chicago this coming week with my honey, and so we'll be traveling back from Chicago next Sunday. So no show next Sunday. But in 2 weeks, my mom goes, "Have we ever talked about Widco?" For those of you who don't know Widco, it was a company that carved a lot of wood, a lot of tikis, a lot of non-tiki stuff, but it works its way into every person who collects tiki's collection, and it goes from artwork to bars to chairs. So and I'm friends with the founder's granddaughter, so it's a great topic to talk about, because the Widco is everywhere, and a lot of it is worth a crazy amount of money. And then I have a little bit of history, so we're going to talk Widco 2 weeks from today, April 30th. So mark your calendar.
That's a great topic.
No, we're going to do it in a second, Debbie.
Okay. We're sending notes to each other behind the scene.
I'm reading my wrist, and I go, yep. I meant to tell you, I got it after we introduced Bill. I got it in there.
Okay.
So speaking of Bill, let's get him in here, shall we?
Yeah, he's been watching us long enough.
There we go. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business Special Guest of the Week. Oh, man, I clicked his head and everything. I didn't. Hold on. I thought I had it today, too. I must have missed. There we go. Hey, Bill, how the heck are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. First question, Dogpatch Picker.
Yes,
so
sir.
Dogpatch Picker come from?
The neighborhood that I grew up in here in Porterville is the same neighborhood that my dad grew up in, and they all referred to it as Dogpatch.
Okay.
There was a bunch of people, Oklahoma and Arkansas, transplant, grapes of wrath type people, and they called it Dogpatch.
There you go. I like it.
Nice.
All right. So Debbie wanted to ask me a question. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we'd have you up here too. And so, Debbie, you have a question for us?
I do. A lot of people are saying that their sales are really bad. They're really slow. They're really off. And I wanted to ask you two guys, how are your sales doing over the last month or so?
That's not what I wanted. With Bill on the big screen. How are your sales, Bill?
My sales have been steadily growing. I'm really very happy with them. I've had, I think, some sales every day this week. One day this last week, I had 7.
Nice.
One day, I think that was my biggest one, except for today. I think I've had 9 today.
Good.
Yeah. So I've been seeing some growth. Very happy with that.
So mine have been not as robust as they should be, or as they have been. But 2 things. I'm not working it right now. Granted, I have 2 people making listings for me, but I'm not running any sales. I'm not putting things on other platforms. I just been busy doing a lot of other stuff. And so I know why my sales aren't as robust as they should be. But why do you ask, Deb?
I was just curious because, people are just really bashing right now. And I was curious about you guys. And for me, these Mad magazines, I pretty much sell them as fast as I can list them. So I wanted to ask people, are you pinning to Pinterest? That's what I do every day. We have 3. We have in the thrifting board, we have one called, if you go Bowie Rocks, you'll find a daily Pinterest to share. And then Ginny, their Christmas friend, has Christmas. Yes, Virginia, Christmas Online. That's another one you can share Christmas items. And then I have another friend that has the original Pinterest Exchange Marketing Group. They all have different rules, so you have to follow them. But I firmly believe pinning to Pinterest helps our sales. And so I'm thinking about these people. My sales are horrible. I mean, I'm hearing it from YouTubers. I'm hearing it everywhere. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Because for me, I don't have a ton of listings, but I'm selling every day. But I do that. And then, are you sending out those offers that I just talked about? If you're a seller that hates those, well, hello, duh. No wonder your sales are bad.
Hello, duh.
Hello, duh.
You're not using what eBay's offering to us for free. That's a free service. I just have to go in every day and look for those. And then the big one that was just confirmed again in the thrifting board, touching your items, talking to your items, talking about your items, moving them. If you do that, I guarantee you will sell something.
Yeah, eBay's got a new social page. I actually started mine the other day, and I made one post. But then again, I've been busy with things, and 2 households, and rehabbing my legs, and so I get it. But Debbie was telling me other famous YouTubers are making videos complain. I'm like, if they got time to make videos to complain, they got time to list. They got time to massage their listings. They got time to run sales. They got time to Pinterest. They got time to go to other platforms. Like, stop bitching and go do something about it. Really, truly.
It really breeds negativity. And I think for newbie sellers or, some of us that are, people that are smaller, I think it discourages them. So I just want to encourage people, do all these free things, these opportunities, make your sales work because they will.
Yep. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Okay, off my soapbox.
All right, cool. All right, so first off, nice graphic across the top. You filled your thing really well.
I love that.
Thank you. That's my daughter. I made her do it.
Good.
And we always like to look at feedback. You have just one little neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So I took, oops, hold please. Oh my gosh. Feedback.
Nice, John.
Okay, eBay, what happened? Okay, eBay, you see I'm clicking feedback, right? What in the world? There we go. Thanks, eBay. All right, so we're actually going to talk about this in a second, but I wanted to point out that your only ding is one neutral, and they were unhappy, and it was a $4 item. So we're going to talk about you selling low price items coming up here, because let me tell you, you only get the problems from the low price things. Like the patches were like $15. Like they weren't a big expensive item. And so that's where my problem came in. So definitely, unless you're brand new, I would shy away from just low price items because it takes just as long to list a $20 item that it does a $4 item. So you might as well make more money. But good job on negatives. Good job on 147 positives in the last 12 months. Good job on happy customers.
Yeah, he's got 5 stars all the way across.
Yep. Okay. I can't hate background removal.
Oh,
okay.
We're
going to talk about that in a few things because right now this background removal took away part of your belt buckle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, 2 things are happening here, and my buddy Brian will be giving the percentage in a second here. Of the 100% of this space, you're only using about 25% for the belt buckle. You're giving up. So imagine owning a house and only living in one room. So that's what's happening. This belt buckle should be way bigger in the picture. Now, don't make it so big that I always say leave a little bit of breathing room, but you're giving up all this space. And then when you use the background removal, it actually took out part of the item. And so that shouldn't, if you use a background removal and part of your item's missing, because right now, holy shit, if they don't go past picture 1, they think there's a big chunk out of this belt buckle. Oh, and there's Brian. Yeah. Yep, see? There's Brian, 25%. Yeah, I figure it was about 0.25% in there. Way too much white space. Now, here's what it looked like before you did the background removal. And the other thing too, Bill, you got to start doing, you got to start taking square pictures. Because see all this wasted white space on the left and the right? It's because you're taking vertical photos. eBay gives us a square, so you got to take square photos. Oh, shoot. Hold, please. I don't have my notes up. Mine are virtual. Debbie's are handwritten.
Some of it. I'm relying on your notes now.
Right. There we go. Yep. All right. So that's it. Now, let's see how well the background removal worked on your tripod. Okay. So there's a picture of your tripod. What is this?
Oh, no.
What is this? Okay, so Bill, I appreciate you being on, but I got to ask. You looked at this photo and said, "Yep, I'm going to put this in my listing," because let me tell you, half it's missing.
Oh yeah, look at
that. And the handle's floating.
It's a magic tripod.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm all for this picture. But yeah, when you have to actually physically look at your photos to make sure, whether you're doing background removal or someone else is taking them for you, I got to check in my assistants, spot check from time to time, make sure they're not messing up, because my new assistant, I taught her how to do it. The first round she did great, and the second round she backed up a little too much. So I got to keep on her. But yeah, so it's weird that it's got like this little triangle in the middle here.
Yeah.
So
it's a hard thing to take a picture of, and I've only started using background removal recently. So,
well, let me tell you, we're going to show you one more. It don't really work well, and I would what you got to do is you got to set a nice, clean background, and then you don't have to worry about background removal. Brian said it's a wireless handle. Well played, Brian. Now, the other thing too is when you take a picture of any item, you really shouldn't. Now, this one, coloring doesn't matter at all. Obviously, clothes would. You shouldn't move it from one location to another, because every time you move an item, the coloring changes. On a tripod, no one gives a crap. But if you had a shirt and you took a picture over here and you walked into a different room, the color of the shirt is going to look different based on the room, the lighting, So make sure you keep all your stuff in the same spot and then keep taking those pictures right there. Who's frozen? Tina said somebody's frozen. Are we all frozen?
I just checked on the YouTube site. Oh.
Yep. Now, one thing I don't know how they advertise and sell tripods, Bill, but is how they talk about the size. And I know there's all different sizes. I got a couple different sizes in my photo studio. I don't know if size is I've always thrifted every tripod I've needed. So I don't know if size is a selling point, but it's got to be somewhere, I'm guessing, because some are thinner and some are thicker and some are taller and some are shorter. So I got to imagine when you get it all the way extended and then all the way up, there's got to be a height to it or something. So if you're going to sell tripods, I think there's got to be one more bit of information in your title. I don't know what it is because I never bought a brand new one.
That's actually my first tripod I've ever listed. So
okay.
Huh.
Yeah. And so what I suggest is, here's the other problem. We're going to see this background quite a bit. This background has a lot of texture, and you have a couple different ones like this. And so all your pixels are being eaten up by your background texture. And so you need to find a very plain, light gray, white. Even though eBay and Google says it has to be white, I say poppycock. I do just fine with blacks, and my tiki backgrounds are definitely different. But it shouldn't distract from the item, and also it should definitely be flat. You shouldn't have all these like wrinkles and bunched up. The background shouldn't even be noticed. All I see is a bunch of fabric bunched up. I don't see the actual tripod right now. So make sure your background doesn't actually stand out, so to speak. All right, and then here's again where the background removal goes haywire. Whoops.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey, Bill, is this map torn?
No.
Well, let me tell you what it looks like right now.
Someone took a bite.
Look at that top corner. Come on now. What is happening here? Now, I know this sucker is long. For those of you who didn't see, it is 94 inches long.
Wow.
That's a long map. And this is going to be the nicest thing I'm ever going to tell you. You definitely have to have a picture of the whole thing. And so at this point, it's going to have to be on the ground. You got to get someplace where you can, maybe outside on a nice day where it's sunny and not, or overcast and not breezy. Just get a whole picture of it. Even though we're seeing 94 inches, you got to see that whole thing in one shot.
Hard, like blanket.
Because right here, the background removal made it look like it's torn. And so your customer's first shot of your item, they think it's torn.
Or a rat ate part of it. Yeah, those big items are hard.
And then Debbie pulled this one out because your background removal left part of your door in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that?
Yeah. So, if you don't have a full setup where you can have a backdrop and mannequins and stuff, I used to use a door, but what I did was I took a very plain sheet. I shut it in the door. I set my camera to square, and that way you don't see nothing. You don't see the door jam. You don't see nothing else. You just see the shirt hanging there.
Yeah, I do too, Elisa, because we're short.
I've done things where we had blankets so big, I went upstairs on my veranda off my bedroom and had my assistant laid out on the ground below and then just shot straight down because they were like these gigantic blankets. Yeah. And that was really the only way to do it. But when you cropped it to the blanket, you didn't notice anything else around it. Do you ever have any notes? I know what the next note is. There we go. Deb?
me on this one. Go to the description. Yeah, I didn't write out notes. I just figured I would figure it out. So can you go down to the description?
Well, let's start with, hey, Bill, why is your hand in here?
Oh, there it is. I didn't see it. Yeah. Yeah, there's several pictures with your hand or a finger. And people just don't like it.
Yeah.
Find a way. I mean, if you really, really had to, I would put like a white cotton glove on, like what you
yeah.
Something like that. But that double stick tape, I roll that up and use that. Or because it's double stick, you could just lay it in there. So yeah, it could kind of just takes away that professionalism, especially if people have really bad manicures or, they'd be chewing on their fingernails or whatever.
So Bill, I was on stage once in front of like 500 eBay sellers, and I was doing a whole presentation on what not to do in pictures. And there was a woman who had salt and pepper shakers, and she held them in her hand like this. And you could see her nails. And I said, look, you should never use your hand. But if you're going to use your hand, don't have a busted ass manicure like this person does. By pure unluckiness, the woman's husband was in the audience. So he walks up to me after my presentation and goes, that was my wife's hand. I'm like, yeah, well, it still stays true. Tell your wife to get her hands out of it. And he says, I'm going to buy her a fresh manicure tomorrow. I go, well, that's nice for you too. Yeah. And then I had the same notes. You have no measurements in any of your clothing because let me tell you, a large sweatshirt from this company to this company to this company are all three different sizes. So
you mean pictures with like the
Nope. You
tape?
actually write them out. Got to write them out. Yeah, because I do see you have the tape measurements on them, and that's cool too. But even with that picture, you still got to write them out in your thing. And because good job on you, you do ship internationally. We're the only morons who use inches. So you got to put it in inches and then centimeters because that's the rest of the world. So since you do international, don't ever make your customers stop and have to convert. So just do it for them. Most of us have tape measures that the inches across the top, centimeters across the bottom. So it's super easy to write both numbers real quick.
Or I Google and there's a converter. It takes me a split second.
Yeah, that too. So if you don't have a tape measure with both, but put both in. That way your customer never has to leave your listing. They know exactly what size it is because someone in Norway has no clue what 10 inches is, but they will know what 78 centimeters is.
Good point. Yeah, Linda, her pet peeve, measurements. We got a lady wanted measurements on a motorcycle jacket. We forgot to put our measurements in. So they will call you out for it.
But I will say, good job on the item specifics here. Come on, big up.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's some coming up that
good use on item specifics. So that's kick ass because for those that don't know, when someone searches on eBay reads two things. They read the title and they read the item specifics. So what you can't fit in the title, make sure you get the item specifics.
Yes, and they're search engine optimized where the descriptions aren't. Is that correct still, Jason?
Yep.
Yes. So you want your item specifics in your title to help you sell your item.
Now, Bill, if you're going to do a lot of clothes, I would recommend getting a couple mannequins. Because it definitely makes it look better. Once I got mannequins with arms that could be articulated, it just changes the whole game. Makes it look so cool and professional and sticks out of everybody else's. So you do have a good amount of clothes if you're going to continue to do that. Plus, those you can typically find Craigslist, thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets. And so, again, something I really never, I think I bought maybe one or two new, but the rest I've bought used over the years. So, Bill's item specifics are on point.
Yeah, cheat sheets are great too.
All right. So, as Debbie was saying, so first off, again, you're giving up a lot of space to the door and you're not square. So you're giving up all this space on the sides here too. So square that up. And if you need to see the label, which is a good picture, just put a piece of double-sided tape on the back of the label, just stick it down to the collar. That way, no hand in the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, because for me personally, putting the hands gives it more of a garage sale feel where if you don't see your hands, it looks more professional.
Or I got like a little like very fancy letter opener. I just hold it down.
Oh, yeah, that's good too. And that double stick tape works really good. Just remember to pull it off before you sell.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Let's see here. Where was that? And definitely want to move in because most of us are all watching on monitors and TVs right now. But anyone shopping on a phone, because you're giving up so much space to the background, it's going to be such a small shirt on someone's phone. You want to definitely make sure they can see the graphic, and I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit better in a shirt coming up here. What's next? Oh, okay. So I understand why you were holding the shirt down to show the tag. Okay, why are you holding it in this picture?
Oh, I think there's a mark on the back there.
Right, but you're not even actually pointing to it. You're just holding the item.
Yeah.
So, I would kind of give it to you if you're pointing to it. But yeah, just set it down. Use a pen, use a pointer or something. Or you can always add an arrow after the fact with a little bit of editing too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good.
Or zoom the camera in.
You had other notes on this one?
I personally don't like the background. This tan antique. It's pretty. I would use it for a tablecloth. But for me, I think it pulls away from the coloring. It fights. You got this light. I think that's a peachy and so I don't like the back. Well, white would help. I think show it off. Of course, it has some white spots or a black background. But I think this background is pulling color away. If that makes sense. And
I would like to say, wait a minute. There was a point in time in life where the Ice Capades had Ewoks?
Really? I thought that too. Oh.
Holy cow. I want to see that show. I was like, what is this? There were Ewoks in the Ice Capades? Oh my gosh. That would be awesome.
Hopefully they're on YouTube somewhere. Can I also see his item specifics for this one?
Yeah. Scrolling on down.
Please. If you can enlarge it. It's hard for me to see this from this viewpoint. I'm thinking that you left out some keywords. So you got the Ewoks.
The one thing I would definitely fit in here in them specifics, Bill, is because the Ewoks come from Return of the Jedi. That's pretty much the only place they are. I would definitely work that into the item specifics because that's the movie they were in.
Okay.
Oh, I know. On this one, you don't have the size. I don't think. Is this 8 inches? Is it 12 inches? 4 inches? There's no.
I think this is one where he has the picture with the tape measure, which, like I said, is fine, but you still got to write it out. There we go.
Yeah, because they have to go through all the pictures. People like to shop really quick and just see the inches right away. I would even put it in the title.
Oh my God! I just realized Princess is wearing the ice skates in the picture. Oh my God! I want to see this so bad. Someone find me a YouTube video, please. I have to see this. And Mom, why didn't you take us to this?
Maybe it didn't come to Ohio.
That would be so awesome. Damn.
Yeah, I hope that sells for you now that people are seeing it.
Okay, I've never sold the crucifix, and you're not the only one, Bill. When I was looking at the others, no one puts Jesus Christ in the title. And to me, I'd put Jesus Christ in the title. You know?
Sure.
I mean, anyone who deals in the crucifixes, is there a reason why people aren't putting Jesus Christ in the title? Because look, Bill doesn't have it, and neither do any of these people. And I thought, why not? Why wouldn't you?
Or you can just put one or the other because it's the same. Either Jesus or Christ are still going to pull.
Oh, true. Yeah, but if you put, put Jesus Christ in, it's more words that people will be searching.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you think they would have cross, but there's other kinds of crosses that are not that have anything to do with Jesus Christ.
Oh, and then the big thing here, Bill, is when you do a slash like this with no spaces.
Yeah.
You make this real big.
Yeah.
Now this becomes one long word. So when someone's searching Catholic, this won't come up because this actual word now is Catholic/Orthodox. That's all one word now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I rarely use slashes. There are a couple times I do, but you got to have the spaces in between because it becomes one thing.
Yeah, and you're not really giving or saving any space. When you take that out, you still have an empty space there. So it's the same.
Okay, so Tom sold one last month. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I've never sold a crucifix, so I was just, come on, stupid mouse. There we go. Tom did have Jesus, but not Christ. Cool.
Okay.
Right. I understand a crucifix always has Jesus, but I'm just thinking from the standpoint of people who search things. I don't think anyone will forget Jesus, but there might be, as we all get older, what's that thing called? Oh, yeah, crucifix.
Yeah, Catholic.
Your word to spell too. So, so you got to think about people, how they search. And I just think, okay, more keywords that way.
And if you have Jesus in there and someone's looking for Jesus Christ Superstar T-shirt or something, with no crucifix, then it might come up for you, and you might accidentally sell it.
Okay, so Debbie had questions on this, and so did I. Bill, are these new and sealed, or are they just in protective bags?
They're in protective bags.
Okay, because it says very good, and I saw them bagged, and but what I want to talk to you about is your title. Because so Rowena cover art's cool. This very good is just wasted words right here.
Okay.
And then the lot of 4 is good. You don't have to put spanning. You can just do the 89 to 2005. Because when I look at each individual, and hey, why is your hand in this one? Put your hand down.
Not sure why. Maybe I was trying to keep the glare down or something. I don't think I was doing a good job of it.
So this one, now I know this magazine from when I was a kid, but these artists or whatever don't mean much to me. So Richard Corbin returns with Planetoid. So maybe Richard Corbin's a better use of your space than the words very good.
Okay, yeah.
This one, this one featured Corrigan's number 2 in a bit of it. So, there are words at the top of each magazine that Brian Ballard, Simon Bilsey. So those are probably the words. Oh, oops, you guys can't see that. Sorry, hold on. These are probably the words you want to use. So what I would do if I was selling these, I would search these like 6 people's names at the top of these 4 magazines. Who comes up with the most stuff? I'll use their names.
Okay. Yeah. Okay? Good.
Because that's the things people, someone's going to be like, dang, I love Brian Boland stuff. But they're not searching the words very good.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I've noticed a lot, if we go back to where your condition field is, none of your condition fields have anything in them except used. And so for me, like selling books or anything, no rips, no highlighting, no writing. If it's a book, So you don't have, even though there's not there, it's nice to say, no, it doesn't have any of these things. There's no rips, there's no stains. Or if it does have a stain, you need to say stains, because the condition field's really important to protect you too. If a buyer opens an item not as described, and you have all that information right there, and then they could see it in the condition. Well, they told you that there was stains on it, and they told you that there were rips on it. I mean, it's not that they should keep an item that's stained or whatever, but you want to put all your whatever's good or bad about the item in the condition field. So just because there is no writing, you don't have to ignore it. I always say there's no writing, because they might think you didn't look for the writing, and I want to know, does it have highlighting or writing in it or rips?
Can you add that in the item specifics to the condition field, those extra comments? Does it give you that option?
Yeah,
I have a condition box here. I'll actually bring one up.
Yeah, when you're doing your listing, there's a big condition box, and it takes quite a bit, because I kind of filled one up the other day.
Wow, Deb, I have never filled one up.
Well, not completely, but it was like, okay, this book has this one, and this one volume has this one. You know, I was being very careful.
Yeah, so
maybe
let me show you one. Let's pick a piece of clothing and see how well we did using it. No rips, holes, or stains. So see how it says that right there?
Oh, yeah.
Right there. And so when you go into the editing of your listing,
it's a little bit ways down there.
There's a condition description, and you fill in all the important stuff depending on what item it is.
I think maybe on the mobile app, it doesn't let me do that.
Yes, it doesn't let you do it on the app, and now they've also hidden it. So who knows how important it's going to be going forward, but I think they hid it by accident. So just as a heads up for everybody.
So the buyer doesn't see it front and center like they used to. So a lot of people, I guess it's kind of increased some returns possibly for people. So just kind of be aware. Hopefully they're going to fix that.
Oh, and thanks, Linda, for the YouTube commercial for the Ewoks ice capades. I can't wait to watch that. Okay, so not only does your background removal bring only part of your door with you on this shirt, you really should focus in on a nice square around the neck of the shirt. This is a repeating San Francisco pattern. On someone's phone, especially with the weird parts of the door still stuck there, this is going to look really bizarre. And so here's your picture on the left. Here's my edited picture on the right. That should be your opening photo.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Big, bold. You can see it. And because, look, it's a long sleeve shirt. We all know they look like. That'll be in picture number 2. But picture number 1, you can see the collar. You can see the print. But it's big. You can read it nice and easy.
Yeah, because the thumbnail is so tiny. The left one, it looks like it's on a grand piano.
It's a huge shirt.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you just use a white background to begin with, you probably can get away without, the background removal.
Okay, so here's my question. What is this?
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't look through all the pictures. Oh,
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've looked at that one. So.
Yeah, so make sure all the pictures you have in your listing, they're there for a reason, because I'm like, what is this picture?
Might just be some junk on the bottom or something, but it's been a long time since I've listed that thing.
Maybe tried to remove the sticker, or you should figure that out, because people aren't going to want to buy it. They think that could be inside. And I personally don't like the carpet look, because it looks to me like you stuck it on your floor, and I don't know. I think it's
a towel. I think
that's what it is. It's a towel.
Yeah, but to me, I see carpet, and I'm thinking, ew, I don't want something that is dog and cats and their feet all walked over, and then my item sitting on top of it. That's why just plain white. I get those foam boards at the 99-cent store, the Try. And then they have single, and they have black. And I actually came across a plastic, I think it was supposed to be a shelf. It was Home Depot on clearance years ago. It's a hard plastic thing. I throw that down. It's white. Get my pictures on it. That's interesting.
And you can see pretty much everything in the room here. Now, the key on reflective things like vinyl records is tilted back a smidge.
Okay.
So raise it back just a smidge. Especially if you're in a room with just a plain white ceiling. That way you can still take a pretty much straight on photo, and just a smidge of an angle gets the reflection away of you in your room.
Yeah.
And then you just catch in the ceiling, which looks like nothing.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I've had to perfect that with vinyl records, because every vinyl record reflects you.
So I want to talk for a second. A lot of people are talking about listing on their mobile phones. I take my pictures on my phone, and I use my mobile to get my pictures into my listing, but I do my listing on my laptop. I can type faster, I can see better. So I don't know if using a mobile is beneficial to some people if they can't, get all the information and everything in there that they need, because it's faster. Plus on my laptop, I have templates. So when I'm doing these Mad magazines, I have a template. I just put everything, I put as much in there so I don't have to repeat it. I don't know if you can do that on a mobile, if you can have templates. So I might encourage you to try listing on a desktop if you can.
Yeah.
All right. So Debbie and I had the exact same note for this one. We love your pictures.
I like this. It's fun.
Some clothing items have to be actually worn. I had a really big jacket, leather jacket once that fit me exactly. And so I wanted to show other big guys, this is how this jacket fits a big dude. Now, the 49ers shirt, a regular t-shirt, you don't really need to put it on and have a live model. But this whole rain suit, perfect. This is excellent. Good job on that.
Thank you. I thought it looked kind of dumb, but thank you.
No.
For it.
You want to see exactly how it's going to fit, how long the jacket comes down to the pant. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that you need a good demonstration. And when I have women's clothes, Zoe, my assistant's kind of on the more petite side, so she can pretty much throw on anything. So we got some weird hanging sleeve on a mannequin. Don't do nothing, but on a human, it definitely looks much better.
Yeah, and it's kind of an overcast day. So
it's so good. I love this picture.
And my first thought was Northwest Washington. It's going to rain. I need that raincoat set.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, good.
Yeah, on the back.
Good job. Good thoughts. Loved it. But going back to Debbie saying use the condition, because you actually have some condition issues down here, which are fine. But the way eBay has always set it up, even though they're kind of screwing us by hiding it, if you don't have these words in your condition box, they won't back you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
That was their rule. But now they hit it. So who knows where it's going to go. But I'm just telling you what they want us to do. Oh, yeah. This is a square pick too. Good catch, Tina. I missed that.
I know, that's why it looks so good.
He's got to take them all square.
Yeah, it looks so bigger and fuller. Yep.
Okay, you got a ton of cool patches. What I would do instead of putting heavy metal classic rock is pick out the famous members of the band and fill that in with their names.
Okay.
So in AC/DC, you got 3 famous members. The first lead singer, Bon Scott, who passed away. The second lead singer, Brian Johnson. And, of course, Angus Young, the guitar player.
And take out all those hyphens. You don't need all those hyphens in there. You just leave blank space. You don't really need those.
Okay.
But you had, I think I saw Zeppelin. So you got Robert Plant. You got Jimmy Page. So you got all these bands have at least 2 famous people that everyone knows. And so put those in your title. They're way better keywords than heavy metal classic rock.
See, okay. John's already learned a lot. We're not even done yet. And thanks for watching, John and everybody. That's why we do these, because we all learn together.
But yeah, you got a lot of cool patches.
I was thinking maybe one of the songs.
Even though people really don't care what's on the back, I would take the picture of the back, Bill, just to protect yourself.
Sure,
if someone says, hey, there's a tear on the back right this moment, you can't say, no, there isn't, because you don't have a picture of it.
Yeah.
And by filling in the conditions, I think it forces us to look more closely at our items. Okay, are there any stains? Is there a rip that I missed? Because I want to get them all in there if there is. Again, I don't like that. I'm sorry. I hope you're not offended. I don't really.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to come up with something. I don't have a great space for taking some of the pics and just.
And you don't really need it, because the same amount of space you're using could be a white background, because this background to me pulls away. It fights with the colors of the item, and my eyes drawn to that and not drawn to the item.
So, what I want you to do, if nothing else, next time you're thrifting, go to the linen section and just find a plain white sheet.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, yeah, good call.
There's no texture to it, just a plain sheet. And then, like a lot of people suggested, at the dollar store, they use the foam core boards for their white background. So,
yeah, and like I said,
Debbie, you want to talk about so this is a very small item. Don't weigh too much. Your rates to Canada seem very high.
Yeah, that just seemed like a lot of money to me, because let's see, I use pirate ship. Well, a lot of us are using pirate ship now.
That should be about $12.
0 to 8 ounces to Canada should be $10.99.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a box. The rest of the world's $13.99.
Sure.
8 to 16 ounces would be $14.99. I'm sure you're going to put this in a box, so you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
know what you're doing. But having that just seems really high to me, and they're already paying.
Oh yeah, no. I just kind of clicked the international box, and I
Yeah.
don't really look at it beyond that.
They charge more than eBay. That's why, unless it's something really expensive, I use pirate ship. I buy insurance if I feel that I need it. And I think it really increased our international sales. Once Jason finally got it through my head that Vietnam, China, UK, Australia, it's all the same price. It doesn't matter because it's coming from my house. So any country except Canada, it's all one price. I couldn't grasp that for 10 years.
Now, Bill, looking at this now, I'm assuming you're seeing how distracting the background is to this item.
Sure, yeah.
So this is where, like I showed that suit on a black background, these kind of things with glass, black with some good lighting, the black background makes these things really pop nice.
Yeah, good.
Because it's a cute little thing, but you really get lost because you can't really grasp exactly what it is. And I would definitely, like the chat was telling me to make my first picture of that plate with the box and the COA, I would definitely take one with, the ornament and the box in the same first picture, so people really get that. There's a lot of people who love the original boxes. So
sure.
Yes.
And then this kind of, Debbie saw this one, and this is so the exact pattern and colors as the background.
It's lost. If that was on black or even white, it would really pop out.
Yeah, it's a super good tip. The black background is a super good tip for sure.
Yeah, and you only use it for light color things, but man, when you use it with good lights, you're gonna be like, damn, that looks good. Okay, these two have me scratching my head. So here you have a comic with Deadpool spelled as one word, but for some reason you put a hyphen in it.
Oh, I think that was actually the other guy. Whenever I listed from like the
so if you're gonna copy a listing, you gotta be damn sure they don't screw up, because I'm like, how do you look at that and put a dash in it?
Yeah, that's a good point too. When you're using someone else's listing, you got to check all your item specifics. You have to check your measurements, everything, because they could be wrong, and then you're going to get an item not as described.
Then on the other way, Tinkerbell is 2 words, and you made it 1 word.
No, that was probably my fault. No, I'll take responsibility on that.
The one thing about Disney stuff, the name of the company changed over the years. So Walt Disney Productions is 1986 or earlier. And so that's the rare time you want to make sure you get that in your title, because that tells Disney collector nerds, and I say that very lovingly, what the time frame is. So they'll know, okay, this is at the oldest, this is only 86. So you want to put Walt Disney Productions in your title.
Okay.
And I would always put Peter Pan too, because that's where Tinkerbell comes from. Even though Peter isn't on this, it's the movie she comes from. Again, just more keywords. But yeah, make sure you switch it to 2 words.
Tink. Yes, you could put Tink also.
All right. And Debbie talked about the shipping on this, because this soap cannot weigh pretty much anything.
Right. So that couldn't weigh hard. Yeah, that should be in the up to $10, like for Canada. And then also, you didn't describe the tears and the stains on that paper of the soap.
Yeah, I thought I just did the paper. Yeah, I should type it out more.
Yeah. It's just a reminder to all. You got your hands there, and then the paper's the same color as the background again. That one probably look good on black too. So it's all of us have had to learn these same exact things.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a female in your house or a neighbor that's a female?
Yeah, I got 3 females here.
Okay, so if one of them could fit this ring, it's the rare time that I would say put your hand in it. So instead of holding it, actually put the ring on.
Okay.
Because I sold a $15,000 watch once, and it was a small woman's wrist watch. And my wife has small wrists. So right the last second, I go, hey, hon, put this on your wrist. I took a picture and I took a video of her just going like this. And the woman who paid me $15,000 said, I only bought it because that video showed me that woman's wrist was just as small as mine.
Oh, wow.
So this is the rare time I'm going to tell you, put someone's hand in it, but someone's hand will fit the ring on it.
Oh, Lisa.
And because it's a Punisher, have him do that. Don't be dainty. Have him give you the fist.
Yeah.
You know.
And then also you can go to Michael's Craft Store or Hobby Lobby, wherever, and get a ring stand. Like a professional, like a black velvet thing. You could put it on that too. But I like the idea of having it on someone's hand.
Yeah. So Susan was saying, with a $4 item, is it even worth it to have best offer? We're going to talk about cheap items in a quick second here. So yay, we can talk about a little bit of music. You have cassettes I want to talk about, and CDs. So you have two cassette tape lot, 1977 and 82, rock, pop. So you put one title in, H2O, but you didn't put the other title in. So the titles are the second most important thing after Daryl Hall and John Oates. So I would definitely want, lot of two, Daryl Hall and John Oates cassettes, H2O, and what's the other one? Beauty on Backstreet. You can put both years in your item specifics. You don't really need them both in the title. You definitely don't need rare in the title. Make sure to always get the title of the album. Now, if you do a lot of 50, it's a different story. But with two, you can definitely fit both titles of the albums in the title.
Okay.
All right, Deb, this is one of yours.
Oops. Okay. Let's see. Maybe go down to items or item specifics. Oh, and I bet, does he have the measurement of this in there?
Nope.
Okay, so he needs to tell me, how big is this? And then his item specific. Item specifics has been my pet peeve for years. I even went on eBay Radio years ago and talked about it. They're so important, and they're search engine optimized. Every word, good keyword in your title, not of and the and like that, but the good keywords should all be in your item specifics. And when you're doing them, if you scroll down, you'll see a part that says make custom or add something to do with custom item specifics. If you click that on, you can make your own. So let's say like that soap, you could put hotel in the top, and then the bottom, because you have to have a question and an answer. It's a pair. The top, you put hotel. The bottom, you put the name of the hotel. So you can really beef up your item specifics so that, well, I don't know what they're doing now with mobile, but they were first. So you should be able to get all the information you need out of your item specifics. So it's worth taking the time to fill them in, especially giving measurements, diameter. He's so cute. I want him. So yeah, in your item specifics, I don't know if you have tiki, if you have, is that a shot glass, toothpick holder? That's probably too big for a shot glass, Jason. Or if you
it really was sold as a toothpick holder. So I would actually throw a few toothpicks in there, Tom, just to show it off.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So keep working on those item specifics to use them to your advantage. They're free. They're searchable. So they're great. And, it really helps the buyers. I try to it's a pain sometimes, but that's too where when you're listing a lot of the same kind of items where templates come in handy, because a lot of my item specifics for my magazines are already filled in. I just have to change the years and the volume number and things like that. But yeah, definitely the measurements, because I might look at that and think, oh, good, that's a nice big, it doesn't have a handle, but it's a nice big tiki mug size.
All right. So you were selling cowboy boots and you got the brand and the size. And of course you need that. Well, let me tell you, there's like 7 parts to every boot. And so when you sell cowboy boots, you actually got to sit down and learn all this crap. So the toe, there's like 4 different toes. So you got to know the toe. Oh. The stitching, it's counted by the line. So you got double stitching. It goes up to like 6 or 7. The heel, there's different heels and there's different tops. So there's all these parts of the boot that you got to know. And so what you need to do is look at other sellers who have sold boots that do that as the norm, because that's kind of how I learned, and see what is exactly in their title. This one, since it only has 2 lines of stitching, is not as important, but the ones that are got like 5 and 6, that's money. That's fancier. So that's where you got to get specific. So your title isn't bad, but there's more to a cowboy boot than, say, a tennis shoe. There's a lot more that you got to put in there. So also your customer knows exactly what they're getting.
Yeah. Because they can't hold it in their hand like we can. And I noticed one of your pictures, you kind of, on the bottom, you kind of cut off part of the toe. They might think, oh, there's something wrong. He doesn't want to show it to me.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Man. Yeah. It's nice that you showed the bottom. You showed the condition. That's good.
Yeah, especially with cowboy boots, that's where they get worn out the most. Okay. Is it really worth your time to sell an item for $1.90? Now, it is in 2 instances. If you're brand new and you got no feedback, you got feedback score of 383, so you're already past that hump. If you get in trouble with a couple of negatives or you miss shipping deadlines a couple times, Then you want to sell a lot of cheap items to fix your percentages. You don't have either of those problems. And so, as I said earlier, it takes just as much time to list a $20 item as it does a $1.90 item. And typically our $1.90 items when we get an unhappy customer. So I wouldn't spend any time listing items under $10. Now, if you've got 50 of an item under $10, sure, make one listing, quantity 50, easy peasy. But as soon as you start to realize to spend your time on hunting for and listing and selling higher ticket items, you do the same amount of work, but you make more money. So,
yeah, I think I just had this one random tape. I was
because I know you were out scouring today. You're going to find some more tapes, then you'll have a whole big lot of blank tapes. Then you put it together. So yeah, I get why you did it, but yeah, it's too much time for not enough profit margin. Yeah, Brian just said the same thing. Wait till you get a few more tapes and make a little bundle.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh, it should be on the cassette. Well, yeah, 15 is a little high, but yeah, I was in. I had switched myself to UK, so let me get it back to the US here. Hold, please. Now the shipping's normal, $365. But yeah.
Okay, for the US. But still, I don't think you can go from coast to coast for $365 now with first class because it's rated.
Oh, you have media mail, Bill, on a blank tape. There's no media.
No, I didn't even see that, but yeah.
So they probably won't open your package, but if they did, they would actually charge you for the extra because there's no media on it.
They'll charge you priority rate to your buyer. And if they're across the country, but still you can't first class, you can't ship anything hardly from coast to coast. That's why I do calculated. I know some people don't, but.
All right. So this is back to, better use of keywords. Short sleeve. Yeah, there are some long sleeve Hawaiian shirts, but typically they're all short sleeve. What I would have put instead is, where's the picture? Hold, please. They play at the LA Coliseum, and there's the LA Coliseum. So I definitely would have had that in the title.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
That's nice.
Yeah, any of these shirts, especially the sports ones that Rain Spooner does, it's going to be the stadium, or if it's also someplace famous like Washington D.C. or something, there'll be something you can pull out, and that would be better keywords than short sleeve for people looking for it, because you should have short sleeve in. Yeah, see, you already got it here, so you don't need it again.
Does he have his measurements?
Nope, no measurements.
I was going to say too, for when I do t-shirts, my graphic, I up close my graphic, your first shirt should be up close like that. They're going to recognize their guy.
Yep, like I showed on the 49ers one.
Yeah, right away they'll see that. So that should be like your second picture maybe. But right away, you've only got this little thumbnail and there's all these listings. If they're just going through and they see that up close, oh, I got to have that shirt.
So this is just a quick one. This is not a Maltese cross, as you said. It's actually an iron cross.
Okay, I sold the buckle similar before. I put iron cross. That one I'm going to blame the other guy too, because I think that one I just put it in from.
Yeah.
But my other buckle was an iron cross.
It was funny because I got to this. I go, oh, that's a cool little iron cross belt buckle, but it doesn't say iron cross. It's Maltese. Okay, so you weren't sure what you put unidentified in your title. A, you got me and my mom to help you identify any seashell. But B, that should never be what you have in your title. You should definitely ask in the thrifting board or me directly. I'll tell you what it is. But I will tell you this is a Murex. But I will also tell you this Murex rolled around in the surf for a long time. And so this won't be really desirable to anybody.
Oh, yeah. I got that out of a storage unit.
Now, if you had a bunch of shells, people take those glass lamps and fill them with shells. And they don't necessarily fill them with the best shells. So in a lot, this would be fine. But because it's so beat up by itself, it's really not going to be attractive to anyone.
Okay, good.
If it was still shiny and colorful, absolutely. But when you see this pitting, that means it was empty from an animal and just rolling around the surf for a long time.
Looks like driftwood.
Yeah. But yeah, feel free, anybody. And this is not just for Bill. If you got a shell, you know what it is. My mom and I know pretty much all the shells. We're happy to help.
They do. And for that price, I'd probably just stick it in my own yard. And something else, I don't know if Jason's going to go to it. The acronym or the abbreviations. I heard Griff saying a while back, I don't know if it was Google or eBay. It must be Google. They don't like these abbreviations anymore. They don't like VTG. They don't like NOS, new old stock. They want you to write the words out so that Google.
I wrote you back on that one, Deb. Just like they say, you got to have white background. I think that's more poppycock. And so,
Okay.
Bill, you did okay. And the ones you have abbreviations, you always have them at the end. Don't lead with abbreviations,
Right.
but I'm cool putting them at the end. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
The other day I was working on these magazines. I'm like, what the heck is LN? All these mad magazines said LN, LN, LN in the title. It took me half a day to go, oh, like new. You don't know what LN means. You don't, what difference does it make? I couldn't figure it out.
We've actually Googled several abbreviations to figure them out.
Yeah. So, I mean, I try not to use up the abbreviations, but we'll see. I don't know. I know.
All right, when you do pans, Bill, just do the number by the number.
Oh, okay.
When people search, they'll type 46x30. So,
Okay.
So now you got the spaces and this is that rare time where I'm going to put it all together because that's how people type it. So just straight up 46 by 30, all one line, all one thing.
So what is this background? Because is that a sidewalk, like exposed?
It's like Pebble Tech somewhere.
Yeah, that's the floor of our bathroom, Pebble Tech.
Okay. They just it got even worse. Find somewhere else because if I'm
well, it wasn't like by the toilet. It was just kind of like in the middle, you know.
I know, but still, just think, if somebody knew
TMI
came off my bathroom floor.
TMI, yeah.
Yes.
It's like way over in the corner. This is just like in the entry part.
Oh, I totally understand. But to me, I see carpet again. I see carpet, and I'll write up. I'm thinking somebody's dog walked through there, or their cow, because we've talked about that. And there's people with allergies. There's people that are very picky, kind of like me, So take out all the issues that you could create by having a background where somebody's going, is that outside or is that sand? Or I like the background. I like that. I like that floor in my bathroom. But still, just think about it.
Debbie just wants to come use your bathroom. Just don't
use
it.
Now I want to come see it. Check it out.
It's a hard floor to clean, actually. So you don't like.
We're going to end on a CD here because, of course, that's my bread and butter. Mm-hmm. And also because it's one of the greatest CDs of all time.
Oh.
Definitely one of the greatest punk CDs of all time for sure. So one thing I noticed on your music, Bill, and this is the way that eBay gives it to us in the catalog, which I think is stupid.
Yes.
I always say put the band first, then the title. But eBay's stupid catalog goes the other way, but I always switch it around. But also eBay's stupid catalog gives us all these parentheses and commas and dashes. Get rid of all that crap.
Isn't there 3 dots at the beginning?
Well, that's how the album is called, and so that's a tricky one because that's how that's the actual title.
That makes sense.
But here again, kind of like your patches, punk, Y2K hard, get rid of all that because there's 2 lead singers in this band, and they're both famous. And so it's Tim Armstrong and Lars Fredriksson, and so those 2 names would definitely fill your title up. You might not even be able to get both. Also, when eBay gives you the stupid date, no one cares that it came out in October of 2004. So you can get rid of the October part also. I usually keep the year in because some things get re-released different years. Epitaph is fine. You don't need USA. So get rid of USA, get rid of October, all the dashes, all the commas, all the parentheses, and get rid of punk at Y2K and hard, and then fill in the 2 lead singers' names, and that's a better title.
And I don't know if this is right or not. Now, me, when I run out of space, I leave out the and come out wolves. Because anybody who knows it's and come out the wolves is going to know and come out wolves. It's the same, right? Does that pass your?
No. I would never change the title of a work of art, so to speak. A book, a movie. Yeah.
Can he leave out by Rancid? Leave out.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that word. Thank you, Deb. Yeah, get rid of the word by. Yep. So I put Rancid and I'll come to Wolves CD. 2004 Epitaph, and then the 2 lead singers' names.
Yeah, because you had a lot of some space. You could get a song in there or something. You know what I mean? The title of a song.
Yeah, that's the most, Brian. That is the most annoying thing when you're doing inventory. Amazon only listed by the album title, not the bands. When you do your inventory, you get a list of album titles. Well, no one puts it by title; they put it by band when you're filing them.
And then again, it's $5.91. Should he just maybe for the heck of it bump it up to $9.99? See what happens.
Well, I don't know what it's selling for, but it is a great album. So you could also write the greatest album of all time.
Wow, coming from you, that's
Oh,
you.
but hey, I didn't know. I even noticed this. Hey, where's the picture of the back and the actual CD?
I don't know.
You got one picture.
I must have gotten in a hurry that day.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say he got it from that other guy.
No, you don't have
No,
to.
yeah,
You don't have to have a picture of the back of the CD, just the front. But again, someone goes, "Hey, I got this without a CD." At this moment, you can't say, "Yeah, there was a CD."
yeah.
There's no picture of it. So on CDs, I just take 3 pictures: the front, the back, and then the top of the CD. That's it. Now, if it's got if it's an import with a booklet in Japanese, then it's a different story. But an average CD in a regular jewel case, 3 pictures, and you're good.
See, thank you for being on, Bill, because everybody's saying they're learning stuff.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate it. So I got a lot to learn. I'm not going to hide that fact.
No, you're doing great, but we want you to do even better.
I do like what Brian said. It's a $5 CD, so it's a $5 picture.
Oh, there you go.
Are you a punk fan at all, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Social
have you heard
D.
this CD?
I don't know that I've heard that, but I know some rancid. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, play that. There's like 21 songs, and there's not a dud on the album.
I need to get a CD
It
player.
is amazing start to finish. All right, and I think that's it.
Good job. That was fun.
Oh wow, hour and a half. That was a hell of a show. Woo.
Yeah,
that was a quick hour and a half too. Overall, you got a lot of good stuff. I would, to bottom line, I would stay away from really cheapy, pricey things. I would get a good handle on taking your photos, and when the time comes, keep your wheels rolling for creative photos like you in the rain suit, because that's a great photo.
Yes.
So, thank you.
I hope that sells soon.
And then feel free.
Yeah, me too.
In the thrifting board where this graphic is, if you have some questions you want to ask anybody, hey, what do you guys think of this or whatever, you can put them in there and we can keep talking if something comes up that you want to talk about. Right.
Oh, that's interesting. Jennifer never uses the eBay catalog. You should absolutely be using the eBay catalog. You just got to adjust the title because that's what eBay wants and that's how eBay directs people. So I would absolutely use the eBay catalog. Plus, in music, it adds all this shit that you don't got to type it. It adds all the stuff in the specifics of the CD. So I don't got to type nothing for most CDs in the catalog. So I would definitely use it. You just got to clean up the titles. Now, I asked eBay about cleaning up those titles in 2008. And they said they were going to work on it because I showed them how a mess it was. And the CEO at the time said, "That's awful. Let's get that fixed." Well, here we are in 2023, and not a damn thing has ever changed.
Do they buy that? Do they buy that catalog?
It's a service that they buy, but they could program it to cut out all the parentheses and dashes and commas. You can program it to automatically remove all that crap. It'd be nice if they did, because every title is really a hot mess when you get it from the catalog. You just got to clean it up.
And think of about how many other sellers aren't doing that. They're just using it as it is. So cleaning it up should help us sell ahead of them. Oh, a lot of nice comments. Thank you, Bill, for being a great sport. Great show and informative. Thank you, Bill, for signing up tonight. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, give Bill a thumbs up. Bill put his neck out there, and he's a good sport. I appreciate it. Thank you. The catalog, Susan, is when you plug in a barcode. So if you plug in a barcode of a CD and it's in the catalog, it'll give you all the information, and then it automatically puts that into your listing. But yeah, you always have to check them. Even on Amazon, when I used to sell on Amazon, you always have to check them because the information can be wrong. Oh yeah. All right. So like I said, no show next week. I'll be coming back from Chicago, but Mom and I'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about Witco. If you have no idea what Witco is, you're definitely going to want to tune in because A, worth a lot of money, and B, more likely than not, Mom and I will probably be your customer right away. Yeah. So you find something in Witco that we don't have, you may not even have to take the time to list it or take any pictures, because if we want it, you might just have a direct customer really quick. Oh, Susan asked, is it for CD only? No, it's pretty much anything with a barcode that's modern. ISBN, UPC. Yeah. And they keep building the catalog. So anytime there is a catalog item for your item with the UPC, definitely use it because they take all that work away from you. They fill in all the crap. Yeah. Sometimes they don't come up. I put books in ISBN. There's nothing. So
Oh, my mom says me first. Oh no, not me, you first.
there's
All right,
whole
everybody, have
bars.
a wonderful evening. Thank you, Bill. Fun to hang out. Let's grab a drink in the Tiki Bar in Bakersfield next time I'm in town.
You betcha. Let me know. I'll meet you there.
And
Absolutely.
stay on, Bill. Don't hang up when we go off the air. Just
Oh,
wait.
okay. Okay.
And good to see everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure you follow, click the bell, let you know when we're going live. And we will see you 2 weeks from tonight. Mom and I will be here. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.